History of the Rosary. Hello and welcome to this video on the history of the Rosary. The Rosary is one of the most beloved and widely practiced forms of prayer in the Catholic Church, but many people are not familiar with its rich and fascinating history. In this video, we'll take a look at the origins of the Rosary, how it has evolved over time, and its significance in the lives of millions of Catholics around the world. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the fascinating history of the Rosary. Origins of the Rosary. The origins of the Rosary can be traced back to the early centuries of Christianity. The practice of counting prayers on beads can be found in many different religious traditions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, and Islam. In the Christian tradition, monks and nuns used prayer beads to keep track of their prayers, especially the Psalms. The Rosary as we know it today, however, has its roots in the Middle Ages. In the 12th and 13th centuries, a new form of prayer developed in Europe, known as the Our Father beads. This form of prayer involved reciting the Lord's Prayer 150 times, using a string of beads to keep track of the repetitions. This prayer was seen as a way of imitating the monks and nuns who prayed the Psalms, but it was more accessible to the laypeople who did not have the same level of education as the clergy. The development of the Rosary. The next major development in the history of the Rosary occurred in the 13th century, when a new set of prayers was added to the Our Father beads. These were known as the Hail Marys, and they were based on two passages from the Gospel of Luke, the Annunciation and the Visitation. The Hail Marys were originally recited on their own, but eventually they were integrated into the existing prayer form of the Our Father beads, creating the Rosary as we know it today. One of the most famous stories about the Rosary is the vision of Saint Dominic, a Spanish monk who is said to have received a vision of the Blessed Virgin Mary in the early 13th century. In the vision, Mary gave Saint Dominic a set of prayer beads and instructed him to spread devotion to the Rosary throughout the world. This story has been a source of inspiration for millions of Catholics over the centuries, and it has helped to solidify the place of the Rosary in Catholic tradition. The role of the Rosary in Catholic life. The Rosary has played a significant role in Catholic life for centuries. It has been used as a form of personal prayer, as well as a communal prayer in churches and homes. The mysteries of the Rosary, which are meditations on different events in the life of Jesus and Mary, have been a source of inspiration and reflection for countless believers. The Rosary has also been associated with many miracles and apparitions throughout history. One of the most famous of these is the apparition of Our Lady of Fatima in Portugal in 1917, where the Virgin Mary is said to have appeared to three young shepherd children and encouraged them to pray the Rosary for peace. The Rosary has also been associated with other miracles and healings throughout history, and it continues to be a source of comfort and hope for many people. Variations and evolutions of the Rosary. Over the centuries, the Rosary has undergone many variations and evolutions. Different versions of the Rosary have been developed to reflect the needs and interests of different groups of people. For example, the Franciscan Rosary is a simplified version of the traditional Rosary, which uses 7 Hail Marys instead of 10 and focuses on the 7 sorrows of the Virgin Mary. Other variations include the Dominican Rosary, which is the most common form of the Rosary and includes 20 mysteries, and the Brigantine Rosary, which includes 7 Our Fathers and 63 Hail Marys. In addition to these variations, the Rosary has also evolved over time to include new prayers and devotions. In 2002, Pope John Paul II introduced the Luminous Mysteries to the Rosary, which focus on events in the life of Jesus that took place between his baptism and his Passion. These mysteries were added to the traditional 15 mysteries of the Rosary, and they have become a popular addition to the prayer. Conclusion. In conclusion, the history of the Rosary is a fascinating and rich one, filled with stories of inspiration, devotion, and miracles. From its origins in the early Christian tradition to its evolution and variations over the centuries, the Rosary has become a beloved and essential part of Catholic life. Whether prayed alone or in community, the Rosary continues to be a source of comfort, hope, and spiritual renewal for millions of Catholics around the world. So next time you pick up a rosary to pray, remember the rich history and tradition that lies behind this timeless form of prayer. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.